Hello guys, Timothy here, and today is the day after WWDC, and I watched the whole thing yesterday because I'm a nerd like that, and there's actually a lot of cool stuff coming. So today we're going to be talking about iOS, but over the next couple days I'm going to be releasing some more videos about other parts of WWDC too, so let's get into it. First thing, this is a feature that a lot of people have been excited about. It's dark mode. So dark mode has been something that a lot of people have wanted for a long time, and it's just now coming out.
But now, let's begin our descent into darkness. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an Android user, you're probably laughing at this, but I mean, you guys have had that for a couple of years now. So anyway, dark mode. It looks really cool. I'm excited about it, especially with the iPhones that have an OLED display. That'll be really nice for them. And so yeah, it's just a good thing to have. In addition to that, screen time's getting revamped a little bit. They're adding contact lists, some combined app limits, communication limits, usage data over 30 days instead of a week, just some small refreshes like that. And that's what a lot of iOS 13 is going to be. It's going to be a lot of small tweaks and refinements that just make the whole experience a lot better. And a really cool feature that I was not expecting this year and that nobody really thought about was game controller support. So not only is the Apple TV getting support for the DualShock 4 PS4 controller and the Xbox One S controller, iPhones, iPads, and potentially also Macs are going to be getting that support. And the reason being, Apple Arcade will be launching this fall, and so they're kind of preparing for that by getting support for PS4 controllers, Xbox One controllers. And then battery's getting a cool new feature. It's basically, when I plug my phone in, I plug it in at night, and that's not very good for the device. It's a regular charge cycle, which is good, but it's staying plugged in at 100% for a couple hours, and that's going to wear down the device battery over time. But iOS is now going to have support so that when you plug your device in like that, it will stop charging at around 80% and then resume charging about an hour before you wake up so that it can finish the charging off and not degrade the battery over time. So that's a cool feature. That's something that I don't think anyone's really done before, so that's kind of interesting. Also, Find My Friends and Find My iPhone are being merged into one app called Find My. And in addition to allowing you to find all of your devices and family members or friends, you can also find offline devices. So basically, when I'm using my Mac, it's online. I can see it on Find My iPhone, but normally when I close it and when I have it closed like this and when it's powered off, it's asleep. And it still is running the disks and stuff, but it's not visible to Find My iPhone. Now, in Find My, anyone who's running iOS 13 will be able to be basically a beacon for your Mac device or anything else that is offline. So, if you have AirPods or a Mac is a great, a MacBook or something like that, if it's offline, it's sending out a Bluetooth beacon to surrounding iOS devices, especially iPhones because they have cellular connection. And those devices, if the user allows it, then those devices will become a beacon to send this device's location to iCloud so that you can then locate it if you lost it or something. And that's a really cool crowdsourcing feature. That's something that a lot of third-party apps have already been doing, but it's cool to see Apple kind of taking that on and doing that. Also, the share sheet, which has stayed the same for several years now, is finally getting some refreshes.
Let's take a look at our new share sheet. Looks awesome in dark mode, but you notice in the middle, sharing suggestions intelligently based on who you share with and who appears in the photos.
So it looks a lot like the AirDrop interface, but it also has other options like for messages and stuff, so it's really cool. Reminders is getting completely redesigned.
We've completely reinvented the app, rewriting it from the ground up to make it more intelligent, intuitive, and powerful, and easier than ever to create reminders. With tasks, you can now associate to-dos with a top-level reminder. Now, smart lists, they help you keep track of your most important items, and if you tag a person in a reminder, well, next time you're in a messages conversation, you'll automatically get a notification letting them know that now is time to talk. It's really handy.
AirPods are actually getting some new features too. So Siri can now read incoming notifications from your messaging apps.
Amy said, can you meet for coffee at 9 a.m.?
Tell her I'll be there.
It's sent.
If you don't feel like getting out your iPhone, or if you just can't reach it, if it's like away from you and you're working out or something, Siri will read your notifications to you, and then you can instantly reply to them through your AirPods, which is cool. It's like another step up from the Hey Siri support. You also get shared listening in iOS 13, so you can hold your iPhone playing a song next to someone else's iPhone using Apple Music, and you can both listen to the same song instead of just sharing an AirPod with them, because you know that's unsanitary for you germaphobes out there.
We have all had a time where we wanted to share a movie or a song with a friend. Now you can with just a tap.
Files is getting some minor refreshes. You have external drive and USB drive support, local storage. You can create folders. You can create folders. You can create folders on the local drive now, which is something they didn't used to let you do. So, like, when I use the Files app, I used to have to save something to the Keynote folder or something that's completely irrelevant. And I'm surprised that they're just now adding this as a feature. This should have been a feature when Files app first released, but at least they're doing it. It's nice to see that finally. Downloads folder is being added, kind of like on the Mac Files app. You now have a downloads folder on iOS Files. You can zip files and unzip them. You can connect to file servers and stuff like that, PCs. So that's kind of cool. Some small things that they should have already been doing, but you know, it's nice to finally see them doing it. So, in addition to Reminders getting a redesign, Notes is also getting a redesign, which is really cool.
And Notes gets this beautiful new gallery view, support for shared folders, and much more.
You get shared folders now instead of just being able to share notes. So if there's a group of notes that you like to send to people, you can do that. In addition to that, you get view-only collaboration, which is a lot like Google Docs and stuff like that, where you can share a doc and people can look at it but not edit it. That's also a thing that Notes has. So that's really nice to have. New checklist options, and you know, just little things that are nice little things to have, but that should have already been a feature. And that's kind of the theme I'm seeing of iOS 13. They're doing a lot of small refinements that are nice refinements, but they're things that should have already been a feature. And Mail's actually getting a cool new feature. So in Mail, you can now use fonts and different text sizes and formatting options. And that's kind of cool. I'm not sure if it'll show up when you email somebody else. So if I was to email somebody using Gmail or Yahoo or something, I'm not sure if that would show up in their inbox, but that's kind of cool. Like if you're emailing people through iCloud or whatever, that's just a nice feature to have. And that's across the board, Mac, iOS, and everything else. CarPlay is getting some minor redesigns as well. The home screen's being redesigned. Siri is getting its little interface at the bottom that's not as intrusive over everything else. You get a junction view in Apple Maps. That's for more detailed views of intersections, which is kind of like what Google Maps already does. So they're doing that. You also get Street View now. So Apple's making their own basically Street View cars. They called it Look Around or something like that. I don't even know. Anyway, Look Around or whatever they called it, it's basically Google Street View in Apple Maps. Kind of cool. They did it a little bit better. I like the interface a lot. It's another thing they should have already had, or better yet, just used Google Maps like they used to. Keyboard is getting swipe or tap to type. So you can already tap like you normally do, but now you can swipe to type kind of like in the Gboard, which is really nice, cool feature. It's nice to have it just on the device by default instead of having to download another third-party app to do it. Another thing they already should have done, but I mean, at least they're doing it now. So Contacts is getting a really cool new feature.
We've all received messages like this. Like, who is this guy? Well, wouldn't it be better if you could see something like this? Or maybe even this? Well, now you can. Because with iOS 13, you and the people you message with will be able to share your name and your photo, and even use Memoji or Animoji to create a photo of yourself.
And so if you're in a group chat where there's a bunch of people and you might only know some of them, like if they're friends of friends or something, you're not seeing a phone number, you can just see their name, and that's kind of nice to have. Memoji is getting a bunch of cool new stuff. So they're getting some new like earrings and makeup or whatever stuff, so that's not that cool. But Memoji stickers are coming to any device with an A9 processor and above. So that's iPhone 6s, iPhone 7, iPhone 8, all of those devices that don't have the Face ID sensors, they're going to get stickers. So you can create a Memoji. You can't make it talk or animate it like you normally could on another device because you don't have the Face ID sensor. It's a lot like Bitmoji, but with Memojis, and it's another cool thing. It's interesting. I'm glad to see that Apple is taking some of their features from the newer devices and pulling them back into older devices. Just because it kind of keeps people in the ecosystem, people who don't feel like paying $1,000 for a new device. As far as Siri goes, there's not a lot of new stuff with Siri. You get a new Indian English voice. You get radio for Siri. Siri gets a little bit more intelligence for personalized suggestions and stuff, but that's kind of already been there. The one cool new feature is improved neural text-to-speech, so it sounds a little bit more natural.
Absolute zero is the lowest limit of the thermodynamic temperature scale, a state at which the enthalpy and entropy of a cooled ideal gas reach their minimum value, taken as zero. Absolute zero is the lowest limit of the thermodynamic temperature scale, a state at which the enthalpy and entropy of a cooled ideal gas reach their minimum value, taken as zero.
Home, Apple Home is actually getting a lot of cool new stuff this year. You're getting HomeKit cameras now, and you're also getting HomeKit enabled routers. Both of those devices are designed with privacy in mind, which I will talk about in a future video, but just some small new things for HomeKit, some cameras, some routers. That's kind of cool. Photos is actually getting a huge update. You're getting a today view, a month view, a year view. Oh yeah, video editing in the Photos app. So you can now flip a video like you can flip photos. So like if you took a video in a portrait orientation when you meant to take it in landscape, you can flip it in the video editing settings. You also get some lighting controls. You get some filters and other like stuff like that. Just some interesting things. So yeah, that's about it. That's a lot of the new iOS 13 features. And keep in mind, a lot of these features were actually supposed to come out last year with iOS 12, but they all got postponed to this year because of all the stability issues with iOS 11. Apple wanted to focus on speed and stability in iOS 12, so we didn't really get many new features last year other than Memoji and some other stuff. So nothing big last year. Group FaceTime came. But yeah, a lot of refinement, a lot of cool new features coming out. Just they're kind of updating the look of iOS, basically, is what I'm taking from this. Nothing new on the home screen, unfortunately. We're going to get the same home screen for another year. Hopefully next year with iOS 14 we'll get some new home screen layouts and stuff. Yeah guys, thanks for watching. I've got some more WWDC videos coming up, so be sure to stay tuned for those. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. It won't hurt my feelings at all. And then also subscribe, because right now I only have 7 subscribers. We got to change that soon. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I've got more WWDC videos coming up, so stay tuned. Bye.
Now, since we're all going to be creating a lot more Memoji, we wanted to make them even better at reflecting our own personal style. So we've added a huge amount of new options for makeup, accessories, and so much more. I'd like to have some experts give you a quick look.
I'm Desi Perkins.
And I'm Patrick Starr. Eyeshadow.
My favorite eyeshadow right now. Lipstick.
Pink.
Red.
Purple. Nose ring. Brow ring. Earring. Lip ring. Tongue ring.
Earring.
Hair. Hats. Cute, 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 cute. What do we have here? AirPods! Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks!